Hi, my name is Dashay Banks, and I'm here to give my persuasive speech on nurse burnouts. But first, let me introduce you to my audience.
Hello, my name is Xavier.
Hello, my name is Martha.
So now that we got that out the way, let's first start off with nurse burnouts. What is a nurse burnout? A nurse burnout is when nurses are feeling fatigued, overwhelmed, and overworked and underpaid at their jobs. It is the biggest reason that we have a lot of nurses shortages and nationwide, and we also have a lack of nurses due to COVID-19 happening. And without a structured care plan, nurses are afraid to come to work, and we don't have anybody that is willing to work. So with the new policy changes that we're going to make take place as of today, will help nurses become enthusiastic and ready to come to work. In this first article by Rudman Ann, she gives the reasons why nurses are burned out. And one of the main reasons she says because they're fatigued. Nurses come to work every day, all day on the clock without having good schedules, good timing with the patients, and they also overwhelmed because they're due to them not having many patients, not having many nurses on the clock, they have to double up their work. By the time they get home, they don't have time to eat, interact with their family, have their own social life, so their social battery becomes drained. Then when they come back to work the next day, they don't want to be there. So they tend to treat the patient as if they're not a patient because they're angry and upset. So we're going to make changes to that. And by making changes, we're going to make better scheduling with everyone. We're going to make sure that nobody is feeling overwhelmed anymore. Starting off with a great food plan. Nurses need to eat. If you don't eat, you will be sick and you will not be able to take care of yourself or the patient. And let's face it, patient lives are in your hands. You don't want to be the cause of someone's death or your own death because you simply forgot to eat. The second article that I read is by Rutledge Dana, and she also gives tips on nurse burnouts. She also gives tips on nurse burnouts. And with those tips, she speaks on how to not become burned out as much. And with her tips that she gave, she spoke on the best way that you can do is getting rest. And if you don't, and rest is something important that we don't take serious, but nurses need to do that. So with the new policy in hand, if you don't have 8 hours of sleep, you will not be able to clock in at work the next day. That will help eliminate a lot of patients from being fatigued, overwhelmed, and stressed out. If we don't have patients for that day, then we will release the workers to go home early to spend time with their family and friends. Because just because they're working as a nurse and taking care of our family, they still have a family to take care of themselves. So with this new policy, I want you to spend time with your family. So I'm going to make sure that a lot of people are able to have better PTO, better time off on weekends. We're going to do better time management, and we're going to make a plan work. Thirdly, with the new policy that's in hand, we're going to start giving out monetary gifts, and we're going to give pay increases. Nurses, every day we face the worst situations out of many workers, and we go through everything. We go through things that many family members are not willing to do for their own family members. We become the nurses, and we're becoming each other's family members and with the patients. So with that being said, some of us tend to forget to take care of ourselves because we care about our patients so much that we only tend to them. But that's going to change. So we're going to start giving out therapy physically, mentally, and emotionally to help people to help the nurses stop their emotional attachment to the nurses. And we're not saying that you cannot care for a patient, but you don't want to over care for a patient that they cannot take care of their self because the patient is their main priority. And you don't want that because then you become overwhelmed and stressed. You mentally overcharge yourself to that patient and you become, even when the patient passes, it takes away from yourself because a piece of you left with that patient. And we don't want that to happen. We also want everybody to be able to talk to somebody. So that'll be in place. Lastly, did a research on this article by Ashkay Shukadeva. I don't know the last name pronunciation is correct. So the article was based on work management and the success rate that we can have. If we do the planning and do everything that we are trying to do correctly, the work field will be better and there will be less burnouts and less shortages. So hopefully with these new policies instead that are being placed in hand, we're going to start them off in 2 clinics. And after those 2 clinics, if it works well, we're going to take it to another clinic and another clinic. We want to make these policies nationwide so every nurse cannot feel that's less burned out and appreciated at their job. If we have better nurses if we have more nurses that are appreciated, then they will not be overstressed, overworked, and overwhelmed. So hopefully these new policy changes will be a good thing. So to my audience, do y'all have any questions and comments?
No.
No.
Okay. So nobody has questions or comments. Hopefully this new policy change is very effective and let's all have a good day. Thank you.